Okay, folks, we're going to get started. Thank you, students and families and staff that are here tonight joining us. I appreciate it. This is our annual College Information Night. It's an event that we do every year virtually um, to share some information with our juniors and our families about college applications, kind of what to expect going forward, and um, to meet my agenda, get the college application started sooner than later. So thank you. Students that are here, thank you for coming. I know you all had a long day at school. It's been a long week. It's been a long couple weeks with not many days off. So I appreciate you hanging in there and I appreciate your time spent with us tonight. So let's start with introductions. My name is Mr. Duraco. I'm the College and Career Counselor for the Arlington Career Center. I've been with ACC since Arlington Tech's first class in 2016, 2017. And I was here when the very first class graduated in 2020. Um, so thank you for coming, and we'll go around the horn, and whatever other staff are here, I will let them introduce themselves before we get started.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kathy Brewster. I'm the Director of Counseling here at the Career Center. Nice to see you all.
I'm Mr. Cruz. I'm one of the school counselors. I'm currently the 12th grade counselor.
Teresa Gentile, 11th grade counselor.
And I'm Deirdre Magro. I am the counselor from Nova that works with dual enrolled students.
Thank you. I think that's everybody. So the chat is open. If anybody wants to put any comments in the chat, please do so. We'll try to answer your questions along the way. And we will have some space at the end for some questions. I did put my email in the chat for the record. Students and families, some of this information you may be familiar with already. Some may be brand new to you. Either way, we are here to help you and assist you every step of the way. Okay, so my screen is frozen. Okay, let me do a few things here. I apologize. Okay, this is a student-facing presentation. So students, here are just a few questions to get you started as you start thinking about colleges, right? Are you thinking about going to Nova for a 2-year degree, then transferring? Many of you are already dual enrolled students, so you already have your foot in the door at Nova. Are you thinking about majors? I want you to think about acceptance rates at different colleges based on your particular statistics. And that is some information I will share with you. Cost, in-state versus out-of-state, that's where a lot of the costs come into consideration. Also, in-state private versus in-state state school, right? That's gonna change your cost considerably. So those are just a few of the things that I want you to think about as you get started in doing your college research. Okay, there's a little delay in my slides, so bear with me, okay? A little bit more like, where can I get information, right? You can get information from your friends, from colleges, websites, ACC College and Career webpage, right? Come September, October next year, we're going to do a countywide APS college fair. It's going to be at TJ Rec Center, something to look forward to. Of course, visiting college campuses during summer break. A lot of our students do that. Going on college tours during spring break. These are all different ways to get information about colleges, their majors, and their programs. One piece of advice I typically give students when coming up with their college application list is to, come up with like 2 or 3 safety schools, right? So safety schools are schools that you know that you have a good chance of getting into. And of course, as a parent of 2 students myself, a chance of getting in and you can afford it. That's a big one, right? General advice is to have 3 or 4 good matches or target schools and 2 to 3 reach schools because, hey, you never know when you're going to get into a reach school. The applications seem to change from year to year. So that's some information I want you to keep your eye on. And we'll talk about Naviance briefly and how you can access different scattergrams within the Naviance platform to further your college research. Factors consider, again, this is more of a visual slide, less words, more visuals for the students, right? Some things to consider: location is very important to us. Cost, size, right? Some students want a bigger campus feel. Some students prefer a smaller environment. Diversity, sports, reputation matters to some students, not all. So those are all the different factors I want you to consider when thinking about where to apply to and where to eventually commit to. Some college research tools I want to bring to your attention. So every student has Naviance. That's what APS currently uses for their college and career platform. Students use that platform to research colleges, research careers, just a bunch of different post-secondary option research in Naviance. Students also use Virginia Wizard. You can Google it. It has a lot of different filters. You can search colleges by geographic location. You can search by major. You can search by GPA. You can search by standardized test scores, etc. Price. Big Future is run by the College Board. Princeton Review is another website that we use, and niche.com is another website that we use. So it's important for students to find the 1 or 2 different platforms that kind of work best for them and what their needs are. They all basically work the same. They look a little bit differently. So my general advice is find a platform that you are comfortable with and familiar with and play around with it. And I'm here to help you along the way. College application components, GPA, right? So each college will kind of handle GPA differently. That's because different counties in different states calculate GPA differently. So when it comes to GPA, a lot of colleges don't necessarily look at the GPA number. They look at the courses you took, they look at the level of curriculum, and they look at the grades that you got in the higher level classes. Some colleges track demonstrated interest. What's meant by that is documenting college visits, emails to admission counselors, etc. College essay is a big component of the college application. We'll talk about that briefly. We'll get into that. Extracurriculars, that's a big one. That's part of your application process. Colleges want to know like how you spend your time outside of the classroom, outside of ECC. What are you into? Recommendation letters. I advise all students get at least 2 recommendation letters from teachers, not only for college applications, but for scholarship applications and the like. And we will talk about SAT test scores. Real quick, since I mentioned Naviance and all students have access to Naviance in their My Access apps, there's a feature called Supermatch. We're going to look at some scattergrams. And while we're here, I'm going to go to my Naviance platform. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to show students what the Supermatch feature looks like. So in your Naviance, if we go to colleges and then Supermatch college search, okay, there's 2 buckets. There's a must-have bucket and there's a nice-to-have bucket. So I did location. Okay, for me personally, I don't want to go far away from home. I'm going to miss my parents. So for my location, I say Virginia, Maryland, and DC. I'm going to put in my academic information, engineering, computer science, aviation, general engineering as my majors. Admissions, I put in a 3.0, which is not far off of what my GPA was when I was in high school. So based on these 3 fit criteria, I put in my must-have. Our Naviance system came up with 49 institutions that are both an academic match and a personal match. For example, let's go to the top one. Okay, I was matched with Frostburg State University. 100% match. You can see the match demographics here. So let's see why it was a match. I'm going to click Y. Okay. It's in Maryland, a location I'm interested in. It has computer science, one of the major I'm interested in. And it's an academic match based on my GPA. The more filters you put on your search, and this is not just Naviance, this is all search engines. The more filters you put on, the more narrow your search is going to get. So this is a handy tool. What you can also do is you can click on the colleges, virtual tours, photos and videos. So there's a bunch of different research options through your Naviance account. Students often ask, where can they find their GPA? I don't think it's published in Parent View. I don't think it's published in Student View, but I do know it's published in Naviance. So students, this is the home page of your Naviance account. If you click on your initials in the upper right-hand corner, you will see a section under academic where it will have your GPA. We report weighted GPA. So for any of you who are looking for your GPA, what is it? It's in your Naviance, and it is up to date as of the end of your 10th grade year. A quick plug for my alma mater, George Mason University. This year, we partnered with George Mason University with a George Mason University ACC direct admissions program, which means students, if you end this school year with a minimum GPA of a 3.25, you are automatically granted acceptance to George Mason University. What happens in the fall is that the APS will share all student GPAs with George Mason. George Mason will look at GPAs. George Mason has access to your Outlook email, your APS email, and they will send you an invitation to apply to George Mason University, congratulating you on your academics, letting you know if you fill out this application by a specific deadline that you are guaranteed admission to George Mason University. So it's very exciting. That took away a lot of barriers for our students, makes the application process much easier. And I anticipate we will have good numbers again next school year. Speaking of George Mason University and scattergrams, this is some historical data going back to 2020, our very first graduating class. These are our students who applied to George Mason University and their result. You can see in the scattergram GPA, and you can see SAT scores, and you can kind of see how we are grouped over the past 5 or 6 application cycles for George Mason University. My 2025 data is incomplete. We are still compiling that data, so this is not accurate at all on this side. It says 68 applied and 17 accepted. I am anticipating by the end of the school year, when we have all the numbers will more closely reflect the percentages from 2024 and 2023 and so on. There's our George Mason scattergram. Again, this information is available for all students and parents in your Naviance accounts. Here's our Virginia Tech scattergram. You can see the grouping there, a little bit more competitive with their admissions. The green, those are students that were accepted. The red were students that were not accepted or denied. And the blue purplish colors, those are students that were either waitlisted or deferred to a different application deadline. You can see our students have done very well, successful at VCU. Another one of our strong application pools go to James Madison. You can kind of see the grouping there for James Madison. And I did add one out-of-state school, Penn State. We have a lot of students applied at Penn State, and you can see how we're grouped in this area. Again, all this information is public knowledge and published in your Naviance accounts. Students, I will help you find this information. Colleges that accept our students, as you can see, we are very heavy on the East Coast, but as you can see, we have college acceptances pretty much all over the country, East Coast to West Coast, to Hawaii to Alaska. And my map does not show any European cities, but we do have students attending college across the pond. These are the top 12 colleges that our students have applied to. Mostly state schools, mostly in-state. Virginia Tech, George Mason, GMU are the top 3. And you can see the top 12 colleges that our students applied to. Again, we applied to colleges all over the country, HBCUs, Ivy Leagues, and the like. So we have students attending college in almost all 50 states. College application workshops and fall college visits. Fall meaning next school year. When do we do this? Students, all you need to do is come and see me during Archer's period, your flex period, your study hall. I will help you with your college research. I will help you with your college applications, all the different components I want to help you with. March, our focus is going to be college research and building your college list. April, we're going to pivot, and I'm going to encourage all juniors to actually start your college applications. Most of our college applications, if not all of them, go through the Common App, which is the college application platform, which I'll show you. In May, we're going to talk about letters of recommendation requests, transcripts, all the different components over the next few months. And then in the fall, just FYI students, we're going to have anywhere between 20 and 30 college admission representatives from all the schools that I showed you. They're going to come to ACC and they are going to speak with interested students. Many of the times, the admission reps that actually come to visit us are also the ones that review your applications. So when we talk about showing demonstrated interest, that's one of the ways to show colleges that you're interested in attending their college or applying is by coming to the college visits. Again, that'll be in the fall of next school year. And of course, as always, I'll be sending reminders. commonapp.org. This is in essence your college application. You can see the tabs on the top of the screen. It's got your dashboard, my colleges, the Common App tab, which I'm going to show you, college search and financial aid resources. The Common App side of things, right? So the Common App side of things has 6 or 7 different sections, in which that's in essence your college application. Common App has over 1,000 member institutions. You can start your Common App at any time. We can start this school year. You can further procure your application over the summer, and we can finalize your application in the fall. You can get all of this stuff started early. All the information that you put into your Common App now or over the next few months will carry over to next school year. This is the Common App side. It means all this information here goes all your colleges. And then there's a college tab. That's where you add your colleges. And since we're here, folks, I'm going to show you my Common App account so you can know how to navigate it. So here's my college application. Here's my demonstration account. Let me go to the Common App tab. As you can see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different sections. Within each section, I'm going to use the profile. Within each section, there are subsections, address, contact details, etc. Students, as you complete each section here, you will get a green check mark. Once you have all green check marks for all the sections, you will get a green check mark next to profile, meaning that section is done. You can always go back and change things, edit things, but this is just one of the components of your college application. Family information, simple. We can get this done this school year. It shouldn't change too much. The education section, this section is the bulk of your college application. We're going to add the name of the high school. The name of the high school is Arlington Career Center, Education tab. And you can see underneath here, here's the bulk. You will list other high schools if you went to, colleges and universities. For those of you who are dual enrollment students, we will add Northern Virginia Community College as a college. Enter grades, courses, honors, down the list. Testing, very basic. Will you submit test scores? Yes or no. Activities section, you can add up to 10 different activities. And then the writing section, this shows you which colleges on my college list require the college essay and which colleges do not require the essay. So under the writing section, if you scroll down, you can see all the different essay prompts that you will answer for your college application. So it's a quick snapshot of the Common App side. And then, of course, there's the My Colleges side. Here is where you build your list of colleges. Here's all the colleges I want to attend. These are the ones I want to apply to. So very quickly, I'm going to open up UVA. So students, once you open up UVA, you can see college application deadlines. You can see other research links. You can see their standardized test policy, links to their website. You can see some of the requirements, mid-year report, school report. That is for me to handle, teacher evaluations and teacher recommendations. So you can see the different requirements here. And if there's any supplemental questions, each college, they have their own set of questions that you are required to answer. Preferred term, admission plan, early action, decision, regular decision, so on and so forth. So come see me. I will help you start your Common Apps, and we can go through all the components of your college applications. So that's the Common App. The essay prompts, which I just showed you, there are 7 different essay prompts, a variety of different topics. I think the most popular topic is share an essay on your choice. You get the freedom to write about whatever that you want to write about. So that's a little bit about the college essay. Okay, I'm trying to get to the next slide. It's not working. Bear with me. College essay resources, students in English 11. In composition, as juniors, I know that you were asked to write an essay. Probably one of your first assignments you had this school year is to get started on your essay. Then once you get to English 12, you're going to continue in class with your English teacher to help develop your essay. Students can access our writing lab during 4B in room 506. Dr. Sanchez is there, and she will help you brainstorm, format, revise, come up with what topic is right for you. So we have a variety of different college essay resources, including paper, which is a paper tutoring program online. Students have access to that on their My Access apps. They got to log into Clever, and they will have access to paper tutoring. Students use it for a variety of different subjects, math, English, social studies. They will review your college essay and give you tips and fix any grammatical errors. I'm going to take a sip of my water. College application deadlines. Early action. Typically, early action college application deadlines are anywhere between November 1st and December 1st. The benefit of that is you apply early, you find out early. Typically, when you do early action or early decision, like I said, November to December deadline, and you should find out December, January. If you're not ready for early decision, if you need more time to spend on your college applications, that's fine. That's called regular decision. Regular decision deadlines are usually February and March, and you will find out a little bit later about your decision. And then rolling admission, for example, VCU is a rolling admission school, which means once you apply, they will start reviewing your application almost right away, and they will give you an admission decision sometimes within 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes sooner if you apply early. So those are the college application deadlines. One thing I want to mention about early decision is that that's a binding decision, meaning that if you are accepted under early decision deadline, the expectation is you will attend that school. Benefits of submitting your college applications early by November 1st, November 15th, December. More time to focus on your academics, right? School is hard. You have a lot of work to do. Like I said, we can work on a lot of these college applications over the summer. I anticipate I'm going to make myself available 2 or 3 days over the summer to have open office hours for any students interested in getting their college applications moving along in August. Reduce wait time for a decision, more time for scholarship applications, more time to evaluate different admissions decisions. And this year, over 80% of our 2024 grads submitted at least one college application early. Requesting letters of recommendation from your teachers to support your college application. Students, my recommendation is 2 letters. It could be from core teacher, it could be from CTE teachers elective. As long as one of them is from a core teacher, colleges want to see maybe an English teacher, social studies, science teacher. It could be any grade year. It could be 9 through 12. You can get recommendations from outside people if you have a employer, for example, or a coach willing to write a recommendation for you. That could be part of the process. Once we're seniors, I will show you the technical way on how to actually send your teacher the electronic link to upload a recommendation. But for now, juniors, I want you to think about what teachers you're going to identify as recommenders. And I want you to verbally ask them for a recommendation this year. And then next year, I will show you how to send them the formal request. Requesting letters of recommendation from your school counselor, right? I want you to check the requirements for each college. Some want a council recommendation, some do not. So work with me and Miss Gentile on your recommendations. We can show you the process, and if you need a counseling recommendation, ask us, and we'd be happy to compose it for you. I have a few slides for Nova, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to Miss Magro. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I see a lot of familiar names and bubbles out there, so I'm glad you're here. I'm here right now to really talk about if a student is choosing to apply for NOVA after they graduate from high school, keeping in mind, if you've already taken dual enrollment classes, you don't need to do that. And every year we'll have someone say, I can't get on the application, it's blocking me. That's because the odds are really, really high that you already have a NOVA ID number. So if you're interested in attending NOVA after high school, or even for some summer classes in between, make sure that you know you already have that active account. And as you prepare to graduate senior year, the college will remove all holds. So you'll be able to freely register for summer, January term classes, that type of thing. If you do need to apply to NOVA, we can certainly help you do that. And starting in the spring of senior year, Mr. Duraco will bring in one of my campus colleagues to assist students with these particular procedures. Keeping in mind, if you do decide to go to NOVA, we have transfer agreements with many four-year schools. We'll talk about one in particular in a few minutes, but it's very cool now that George Mason, Tech, JMU, UVA, and Radford now have a presence on the Annandale campus at least one day a week, because they really know that many of our students are choosing to go there after they're done with us. So if you know for sure you've got a certain school that you like and perhaps a program within that, see me and I can help point you in the direction of that person even early if you kind of want to look at that plan. From looking at the bubbles out here, I see some people that are already pursuing associate's degrees, and hopefully we'll have those when they graduate in 2026 from APS. But if you're interested in getting an associate's degree either in a workforce field or to prepare to transfer, we can help you do that. The college offers programs of both for those students that want to go to work right away and those that want to prepare for a next step educationally. We also have a variety of non-degree options for people that perhaps want to pick up a programming language, a world language, a business course to enhance their resume. And students can take those really one at a time, whatever chooses to work for them. On our next slide, you're going to see some information about certificates. So Mr. Duraco, he's already there, perfect. You'll see that we offer certificates certainly under the credit side of the house, as well as the workforce development side of the house. Again, these are used in many cases as resume enhancers. for people that just want to show, especially in a particular area, or especially today with technology, to show that they've got a certain skill set in perhaps programming, web development, or cyber. So we do offer a lot of these. A lot of these are credit, which may or may not transfer to a four-year school. A lot are also purely workforce-based, so not necessarily college credit per se, but leading more towards certification that, again, many long-term employers want to see the foundation and theory you have from your credit classes, but also the practice that you can really use by getting those up-to-date and active certifications. Next slide. And finally, I talked about programs that we have and partners that Nova works with. We currently work with George Mason on a program called Advance. So if you know for sure you want to go to Mason, you can actually declare for Advance after graduating from high school. And if you have under 29 college credits. Now, the good news is it's easy to declare. The bad news for many of our students is many of you have already earned more than 29 credits. So what that would do was make you not eligible for Advance per se, but for instant transfer into George Mason if everything worked out. But if you know for sure Mason's a possibility, we recommend you looking at this because it'll give you an exact list and match of Nova classes as to Mason. So you're not really worried about perhaps a history class not transferring or them wanting biology as opposed to environmental science. You're going to have a clear-cut list of what you're going to need to take and preferably what order you should be taking those classes in as well. The other benefit is Advance is a social benefit, which means that you can participate in activities at both Nova and George Mason, meaning that you can get involved certainly at our campuses, but get perks that George Mason would offer, perhaps going to basketball games, concerts, and other activities on their campuses. We've also had students through the years expressed interest in joining, let's say, an esports team at the college or some other intramural or just kind of fun activity. And a student can do that as a part of Advance because they can represent either Nova or Mason, whatever may work best for them. Again, you need to graduate from high school first before you pursue Advance, and their cycles go in September and March. So every 6 months, you have that opportunity to apply for the cycle. But again, we just want to make sure that you know there is that 29 credit limit. So you would want to do that early rather than late. If you have any questions, you know where I am, students, in room 230, and I'll turn it back over to Mr. Duraco. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Magro. It's been a pleasure and honor sharing an office with you this year. I've learned a lot from you, and I look forward to sharing an office with you over the next couple of years until we get our new building built. Okay, students, SAT and ACT standardized test scores. You can see the upcoming dates for SAT. There's another one in May and June. I think there is an August administration also. You can also see the ACT test dates. I encourage all students to take an SAT. APS is an SAT testing site. I don't believe APS is an ACT testing site. For any students that have any kind of financial barriers, any at all, that don't want to pay the $60 to take the SAT, please come and see me. I have SAT and ACT fee waivers available. If you have any difficulties registering for either one of these tests, come and see me and I can help you with the registration process. SAT and ACT preparation. Most students use Khan Academy. That's a computer program that's partnering with College Board. You can start an account, connect Khan Academy to your College Board account, and they will give you customized practice tests based on your PSAT score report or based on a past SAT score report. ACT.org. You can go to their website and they have practice modules there also. I'm going to share with you some of the test optional statements by some of the bigger universities we apply to. So for next school year, right, Virginia Tech, JMU, William & Mary, George Mason, Radford, UVA, they're going to continue to be test optional, which means you will not, according to their websites and according to their admissions, you will not be penalized by not submitting an SAT score. However, it's my experience that if you have an SAT score and it's an SAT score that fits within each range for each school, then it is to your advantage to submit that test optional, to submit that test score. I'll let you read through these test optional statements, and these are all published on their school's websites. Junior year in review. Students, continue to meet with me and your counselor about your coursework going forward. Admission recruiters, they're done coming through, but they will be coming through again in the fall. Continue with your college research, tour campuses if you can during spring break over the summer. Continue career exploration. If there's any career fairs, college and career fairs that are coming up, please attend to those. And like I just mentioned, college entrance exams. Most colleges are still test optional. If you do decide to apply test optional, they're going to take a little bit harder look at your recommendations, your transcripts, your essays. So without an SAT score, they're just going to look at your application in different areas to kind of make up for a lack of SAT score. We have had students admitted to Virginia Tech, UVA, for example, without submitting test scores in the past. However, we don't know what things are going to look like in the future as different regulations are removed from the college application process. Some more junior year in review. Your academics are important. Keep working hard in all of your classes. Summer preparation, continue to procure your college application list. Look at SAT, see if you want to take the August administration. One thing to look at, of course, for the parents on board is the college finances. Make sure that each college has like a financial aid calculator on their websites, so you can kind of see like how much you're gonna owe for each college after financial aid is applied. Beyond the classroom, students, many of you, I don't have to tell you this, you are involved. Some of you are over involved in a lot of clubs and different activities. These are all aspects of your college application that are going to be added to your Common App. One thing I want to highlight as far as beyond the classroom, having a job, showing responsibility for your family, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, long-term events like that, they go a long way in your college applications, especially if you're a full-time student, you're working 20 hours per week, you're taking care of siblings at home. Those are all different aspects that you can add to your college application. Financial aid. Typically, the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, opens up in October 1st. This past year, because of some changes, they opened up in December. So I encourage all students and families to fill out the FAFSA. You may be eligible for work study, loans, different types of grants. And then once we get into then scholarship season, right? I'm big on scholarships. I'm really big on local area scholarships. Students, feel free, find the big websites, find the Coca-Cola scholarships, find the big scholarships out there. I'll be sending a bunch of opportunities come senior year, but my main focus is going to be on our local partners that really want to give you money. In order to get that money, you have to apply. I forgot to capitalize the R in my own name. Look at that. Okay, next slide. Okay. FAFSA, like I said, the free application for federal student aid. That's mainly for U.S. citizens and eligible non-citizens. However, if there's any students out there that are undocumented deferred action, you cannot apply for the federal aid. However, there is Virginia state aid available. So there's two separate applications. You're either going to file for FAFSA or you will file the VASA application. Those are the two different applications. Workforce and apprenticeships. Of course, if some students want to take a gap year, or if you're just interested in joining the workforce and you're not sure you have everything you need as far as interviewing skills or a resume, you can connect with the Arlington Employment Center and they will get you anything that you need to get a job after high school and get you some training after high school if college is not your decision. We have local union and apprenticeship opportunities. Students, if anybody's interested in internship or apprenticeship with electricity, plumbers, pipe fitters, bricklayers, welding, come and see me. I can give you those opportunities. Keep in mind, they are not APS sanctioned opportunities, so you will have to do an amount of research on your own. Industry certifications, Ms. Magro, she mentioned the Noble Workforce programs. We also partner with Alexandria's Workforce Development Center, which can give you some hands-on training and point you in the right direction as far as the career is concerned. And I believe you can do the workforce development program while taking courses at Nova or another college. And of course, many of you have earned certifications, stackable credentials in your CTE classes. Military students, you will notice that at any given time, we will have representatives from the Air Force, National Guard, Army. We will have representatives in our building, typically once a quarter. We have them, we do tabling events during lunch. They meet in my office during Archer's period or different times throughout the day. So if any students are interested in knowing more about any of the service academies or any of the militaries, just come and see me and I will give you a comprehensive list of all of the different recruiters that we work with across the county. Some students take a gap year. Typically, a gap year is defined as taking a gap year, you're traveling, volunteer service, employment, you're working on a special project with going to college in mind. So a gap year means you end high school, you want another 6 months to a year to kind of really think about what you want to do for your future as far as college applications is concerned. If you want more resources about taking a gap year and different opportunities available, please come visit us in room 230 in the mothership, in the main building, and we will give you the resources that you need. End of year junior tasks. There's a few things. I'm gonna send out more emails later on in the school year about these tasks. So students, when you look at your transcript, if there's any high school courses that you took in middle school that maybe you're not too proud of the grade, you have an opportunity to get those grades and classes expunged from your record, as long as it does not interfere with your advanced diploma requirements. Typically, the state mandates that ACT or SAT scores are on your transcript. Again, they're considered unofficial unless you tell the college you want them reviewed. If you want them removed from your transcript, there's some paperwork involved in that. We can do that. And then student brag sheets and parent brag sheets. These are sets of open-ended questions that you can answer that is going to help your school counselor in composing your recommendation letter for college. Any questions about anything on this screen, please come and see me or shoot me an email and I'll help you with it. A couple last slides I want to plug. The Arlington Teen Job Fair, which is going to be happening at the TJ Community Fitness Center. That's going to be March 29th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So any students interested in getting a summer job or just exploring different opportunities around Arlington, I encourage you to attend that session. There's a huge college fair coming up in April. The Northern Virginia Regional College Fair is hosted by George Mason University. There are going to be over 300 colleges there. So it's another opportunity to get more information about colleges throughout the country. Folks, thank you very much for being here. I know I hit you with a lot of information all at once. If there's any questions, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We can stop recording the session as well. I haven't seen the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to open up the floor to any students or families